reel in memories, and first-timers discover what makes fishing so special. From the Panhandle to the Platte, the best fishing happens here, beneath Nebraska skies. Get started at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
In today's digital world, technology works great until it doesn't. At Hamilton, we work to keep your business up and running. We are more than an IT company. We're your partner, focused on customized solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Say goodbye to tech stress and unexpected IT costs when you hire Hamilton. Together, we help you focus on what really matters. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Need service on your home air conditioner? No matter what brand you have, just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
Boom! In your face. In your face! It's Wednesday. Wednesday night conversation and another good one, Smoker. This will be a doozy, so post up. We can get some advice for you. Go straight to the source. Man, we had a lot of questions about things that parents need to know, want to know. And you go to a source, somebody that can tell them, you know what, for aspiring athletes, for parents that want to know what's going on, we go straight to the source. So you can text in, be a part of what we're doing, 402-464-5685, Starter Heyman text line. And that's a conversation where I need to get our guests hooked up with Starter Heyman. That needs to be a thing to take care of the fellows. You can follow on all the live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961. And if you have not downloaded the Ticket app, do so. Do it. Oh, did he leave his headset in here? Yeah.
No, they're not mine.
He left his headset in. There we go, brother. There we go. Special guest this evening once again. Wednesdays have become a favorite night to be able to have these conversations. He is the head coach, Husker Tennis, Peter Kobelt. Coach, first of all, thank you, kind sir.
Yeah, no
you
problem.
you showed up and showed out today.
Yeah, I got to take care of you, man.
Man,
You're taking care of me in the tennis program. I take care of you the best I can.
That is so good. Harrison, you failed in giving him your shoe set.
True.
You just swing and a miss, bro. Swing and a miss. I keep trying to explain to you, take advantage of opportunity. See, because there may be a time when Kobelt has his own weekly show with you. And that is a relationship that you need to make sure that works.
11.
All right.
Yes, there you go. It's the stuff that's there. And let me tell you,
You didn't open the box for me, DP.
Nice.
I walked back to your office.
Nice, bro.
I didn't get a peek.
Too nice, bro. I will. You know how I give. Well, see, you're never here during the day when I give my shoe fashion show.
No.
I got 2 new ones this week, Thursday and Friday, baby. I'm walking the walk. Coach Kobelt came through. He came through. Great. I mean, Husker colors, Adidas. Yeah, it's the hookup. Coach, there have been you know, it's funny. Whenever you come on, it's usually Friday that I start to get questions about that week's show.
Interesting.
And the question I was asked, and I said, you know what? Let's go straight to the source. And they had parents who asked the question, they had a series of questions. And I need to pull up the email because in them asking, so there's one young lady and she's apparently pretty good. She's 13 years old, just outside of Lincoln,
okay.
Multi-sport athlete.
Great.
And then the question becomes, how difficult is it for her, for somebody to, so an athlete, let's say he's a male athlete, 13 years old, multiple sports, plays basketball, plays softball, plays tennis. And the question was, at what point would you as a Division I coach, program lead, identify or tell parents to identify when the child needs to choose what they're going to specialize in?
Oh, man, I'm definitely not a parent yet, so I mean the what I'll go off of is what my parents did. So I felt like my parents let me kind of do what my heart desired when I was a kid. My dad's a tennis coach, so I was always going to work with dad in the summer and stuff like that. So I was always around tennis, but I played high school basketball all the way through my senior year. I started my last 2 years of my high school team. Some of the best memories I ever had in sport were those 2 years of basketball. And then I also played baseball. I played some golf. You know, I tried a little bit of everything. My parents wouldn't let me play football just for a safety standpoint. But you know, I think it just, what I would say is once you can kind of tell like which way your child wants to go with sport. Mm-hmm. And once they kind of make a decision, or you can see how happy they are playing a sport, you might have a conversation and be, hey, it looks like you really enjoy tennis. Is this something you want to take more seriously? If so, now's the time for us to do that. So I think maybe let the child kind of decide, and if they can't decide, maybe help them. But I wouldn't just say, hey, like if you want to be a professional tennis player, you got to quit everything else right now. Probably that's the best route. You see all these kids now that are 18, 19 years old that are having parents that are strict and tough like that. But I think, I don't know if that adds up to having a great childhood and an experience with sport.
I do not disagree. The next question was pretty interesting as well. Multiple sport athlete.
Yeah.
Does it help in the recruiting to have somebody that has had some success in other sports as well? Do you find that tennis players who have played other sports make better tennis players? Doesn't really affect. Does it cross over at all?
Yeah, I think it crosses over for sure. I think every sport requires different coordination, different movements. Some of them are similar. I think for me, basketball is great cross training. Basketball is very explosive. You have to be in great shape. You have to learn how to move dribble, move with your legs, dribble with your hands. That's a coordination. Tennis is very much the same. You're moving with your legs and swinging a racket with your hands. So for me, I felt like I came into college as a better athlete than most for a guy that's 6'7" because I played basketball. But I was obviously behind in the tennis world just because I needed to learn how to win and develop some of these very small nuances in tennis to compete at the highest level of college tennis and then to go on to the pro tour. But I think it's getting harder and harder if you're not going to specialize in a sport, I think it's getting harder and harder to make it to the very top unless you're a superior athlete. But I think it just kind of depends on your goals. If you want to be number one in the world at tennis, then probably should stop playing some of these other sports. If you want to play college tennis at some level, you can maybe wait a little bit longer. It kind of just depends on what the goals are for your child and your family at the end of the day.
Barney says, this is a great answer, Coach. I have 3 sport athlete. I'm letting him choose his own path.
Amazing.
A big part of it, of that, and of course, parents, I think parents are more aware of their young person's talent level.
Sure.
Maybe a little bit more honest in some cases. The past would have been that people were just delusional. Everybody thought every one of their sons and daughters were Division I athletes.
Sounds like my parents.
And but look, 6'7", you had a shot.
Sure.
Like you had a shot. One of the difference makers, and I was asked this in the question, is there a way to improve a high school tennis player's footwork to make them quicker, more confident in how they move?
Yeah, 100%. There's just like every other sport, there's a technical standpoint to movement. In tennis, you want to be very efficient with your movement. You don't want to take too many steps because you waste energy and you ruins your timing getting to the ball, and you also don't want to not take enough steps so you don't get to the ball. Or it works both ways. And then there's obviously getting from point A to point B as quickly as you can. So there's a whole host of things. There's a technical standpoint, which is tennis is very technical with the footwork, and then there's an explosive and a balance and a start and stopping, complex to it as well. But yeah, you can absolutely train footwork and get better. At the very least, if you don't understand the technical side of the footwork, you can absolutely get faster and quicker and stronger without a doubt, just by getting into the gym and doing the basic stuff well, squatting and lunges and some plyometrics. Plyometrics are huge in tennis, medicine ball throws and jumping lunges and sprints, short sprints. So try and make it as realistic to tennis as you can. You don't, Gil Reyes, he was the strength coach for Andre Agassi for his entire pro career. He met with I forget his name. He was the fastest runner in the world at the time, and he was having Agassi run a bunch of long distance runs to get in shape. And the track guy came up to him and was like, Gil, with all due respect, what are you doing with Andre? He's like, well, we got to get him fit. And he's like, well, how many times does Andre start and stop on a tennis court each time he plays? He's like, well, he probably in every point he probably start and stops 8 to 10 times. And he's like, so when you're running a sprint like that, he's starting once and he's stopping once, so you're not training them the right way. And he's like, it was like a eureka moment for him, so that he switched up his training right away. So make it as close to the sport that you're playing as possible, I would say.
Wouldn't that fall in line? And I'm a believer in that. And I try to explain that to parents who most parents are a generation behind the training. And
they can be.
Right. That if dad was a college athlete, a generation ago, weight training was different. No matter what sport it was, it's a little different. Nutrition is different. The amount of time spent in the sport. And then the question I was asked was, how much time compared to games played? So if somebody's playing 90 minutes per match, 2 hours per match, what's the training to get you in cardio shape for playing that 2 hours?
Right.
How do you process that for your team? Is that hours of, like, if you're going to play a 5-set match or a 3-set match, how much practice time should they be working from?
Yeah, so you got to prepare for the tennis is unique where there's no clock and you have to win the last point to win the match, and sometimes it takes an hour, sometimes it takes 4. You don't know, but you have to be prepared to play 4 hours, and you have to be prepared to play 4 hours, for a week to win a tournament. So we always, for me, when I was playing and how we train the guys now, that's one of the things that we can control is how fit our athletes are. So when we come to practice, the practices are extremely intense, and sometimes they're, we try and do a little bit of periodization, but so that we don't get them injured and things like that. But when we work hard and when we're out there to push their bodies, we basically, take them to the very end, to their breaking point, because that's, I feel like sometimes too they think they've hit their breaking point or they can't go anymore, and they really have another 20 or 30% left in them, and they just don't know that yet mentally. So you teach them from a mental side too, that there's always more in the tank, because there usually is. But for me, if I'm going on the court and I know I'm not fit enough, or our guys aren't fit enough, you're just kind of looking at that invisible clock on your hand, and you're like, please, we got to win now, or else we're not.
Got to get out of here.
So I think if you're gonna go and play tournaments, if you're gonna travel and spend all the money, like the very least you can do is make sure that your kid is in good shape and that he can play a whole match and do some of these things. And there's a learning process to it all, and not every athlete is the same, but just do the basic stuffs well. Just if 13 years old is a little young to go and put a lot of weight on your back and squat, but there's some body weight stuff you can do. There's a medicine ball, there's cones, there's different things that they can do to start the process of it. So but yeah, I hope I answered the question well enough there.
Is there a difference between how high school, let's say preteen and high school girls practice and condition versus boys?
I'm not sure. I think it's just like most of the time with most of the sports. I think when they're that age, like the level's still relatively the same. The fitness levels are about the same, and then once they get into college, that's when they maybe start to separate a little bit. But no, I mean, a women's match can take just as long as a men's match when they're that age. So really at the end of the day, like if you're not too educated on the fitness side, you can just go out there and play a lot of tennis all day, and that's going to be probably good enough for if you're 13 or 14 years old. Once and then as you get older and as you start playing higher levels against bigger and stronger opponents, then that's when you can maybe start looking into some of the weight room stuff potentially, I would say. But you're always going to do your bands. You got to stretch, you got to foam roll, you got to recover, you got to ice, all that stuff you guys should be doing right now. So, when they do get older, their bodies can continue to perform.
What's better? And I know it's a sticky question, because the difference between young players who play a lot of tournaments versus young players who practice a lot. And there's a difference between the local kid who practices a lot, who plays high school tennis. Right? They do well, they can finish first or second in the state, versus the kid who spends a little bit more time traveling in the region and playing a different caliber of tennis and different style of tennis. You, in your recruiting, is there a preference for you? Is there a thing where you go, this is an experienced tournament player. I've got this huge different resume in watching who they are and how they play, versus the high school player who plays in a more restricted regional and talent pool?
Yeah, I would say it's kind of a case-by-case basis. In general, we're always going to lean towards the kid that's showing they're super committed to tennis and traveling and playing a bunch of matches. And one of the hardest skills for a coach to teach is teaching the student athlete how to win. That's one of the skills that's very hard to coach.
You're in my notes. You're reading what they asked next.
So there's no substitution for going out and playing and figuring out a way to win. So many times you have these guys that hit great and they practice all the time. They get out to the match and they find a way to lose. I would much rather work with a kid that was like, hey, I don't really care how I practice. I'll find a way to win on match day. So the only way you do that is by going out and playing and learning from how you lose and then trying to do it better the next match until you figure out how you can win. And then tennis is one of those games where you have to beat the person in front of you. So you might not play your best tennis, and that might discourage you, but you still win. And you might play your best tennis, and the guy in front of you or the girl in front of you beats you, and then you're like, well, I don't know how to feel because I just played well and I lost. So don't get it confused. The goal in tennis, there's a winner and there's a loser, and your job is to try and be the winner as often as you can. So yeah, you got to practice, you got to develop, you have to continue to get better. But if you're not winning, like, you're not getting better. So they kind of got to work together there.
Where on your pyramid of recruiting is coachability?
High, but at the same time, like, if you see a recruit and you're like, okay, like, I don't have to say too much to this guy. We can, he's going to figure it out. Those are also players that we like because, they have the confidence within themselves to kind of figure it out when things are tough. And that self-belief, tennis is one of those sports where you have to be almost overconfident in your abilities, where it rubs people the wrong way because it's just you, and you almost got to fake yourself out with confidence. It's like brainwashing yourself. I'm the best in the world. I'm the best in the world. And people are like, no, you're not. And you're like, yes, I am. But that's the kind of confidence you need for an individual sport like tennis, where there's not a mask covering your face and you got everyone in the world staring at you, and it's just you out there. It can be daunting.
You and a racket and a ball.
Yeah.
There's not much room to hide.
No. So, but yeah, I mean, coachability is up there for sure, especially if you're getting a player that needs to be coached. So I think there's there's a lot of aspects to it, but in general, if you're very coachable, coaches are always going to be drawn to that.
Peter Kobelt, Husker tennis, and coach it. So, and again, I get more information each show, and the people and it's funny too, because it's a lot of athletes. It's a lot of athletes who played a different sport and now their kids
sure
are playing it, and you have football players whose daughter now plays tennis, and
wonderful.
They chose for them to play tennis because it's more cerebral,
yes,
than physical, because they've already won the genetic lottery.
Sure,
right? You got a 6'3", 240-pound dad who's an athlete. Mom was a volleyball player.
Amazing.
And the daughter has picked up tennis and said, okay, what do we need to know? Like, what are the things to know? And they start to bite into it.
Sure.
And the curiosity then becomes from the parents and said, okay, in the recruiting aspect of it, academics matters. Like, absolutely. Like, I was always taught that everybody in college has the same amount of talent, or at least relative talent. Their success was based on whether they failed academically or not. That was the greater stress than trying to figure out how to win. Was how do I handle this thing that I may not be as good at? For you, let's say it's a 3-star talent, tennis, but academically you've got two athletes, both a 3-star. One is a 3.9 student and one is a 2.9 student. Your investment is fully based on the academic side of it.
Sure.
How do you deal with that at the University of Nebraska?
Well, first of all, you were allowed to combine our academic and our athletic scholarships at Nebraska. So the student athlete that has a 3.9 would be saving us money from an athletic scholarship standpoint. So that always is a green flag for us. It's it's just one of the things that goes into the recruiting process. There's a whole host of them that we look through, and we've spoken about them before. But I'm a big believer in how you do one thing is how you do everything. It's the old cliche saying. So if as a coach, you really see it with your guys. You're like, okay, this guy wakes up and his hair's all over the place in the morning. It's like he probably didn't go to sleep on time. He probably doesn't manage his time well. He probably doesn't eat well. He probably doesn't. So there's it's just kind of the trickle down effect with that. So if there's someone that's coming and taking care of his school, he's there early at practice, warming up and doing things the right way, you're going to trust them to play a little bit sooner maybe than the other player, unless the 2.9 student's just an absolute baller and no one knows about it yet. So But
trust is the word. Harrison and I have that conversation that trust is such a big part of high level coaching. Whether
sure.
you're the financial investment of the university and the program, the coach's time management investment, right? It plays a part in it because listen, I don't want to bring somebody into the program that I have to chase around.
Yep.
You have too many other oars in the water to have to play daycare with 20-year-olds. It just becomes too much. And then the other side of it as well, you don't want that person to represent and lower your standard and your reputation.
It's not even about my reputation. It's the University of Nebraska's reputation, and bringing in the right student athlete. They're not just, it's not just me dealing with them every day. It's the academic counselors. It's the people at the training table. It's our nutritionists. It's our sports psych. It's the weight strength coach. It's all the professors on campus. So they find out that this, student athletes on the tennis team, it's just not a great look, if things aren't going the right way. So there's more than just let's be a part of the team. And obviously there's the locker room piece and the culture piece and all that as well. But I try and look at it from a holistic view, from a whole standpoint. Is this going to be the right person to come to the University of Nebraska? So, there's a lot that goes into it.
And sure. you have a full head of hair and none of it's gray. And you'd like to keep it that way for as long as humanly possible.
I'm trying.
Because nothing wears on the hair like a student athlete that just doesn't get it.
Well, I think there's a component, and I think if they're willing to, when they come, sometimes they don't have it when they come for whatever reason. If they're willing to be open and try new things, you can coach it a little bit, but it's tough to change somebody. So
that has been the thing that, again, I would always say this to new teams every year, and I didn't care where I was. Mom and Dad, I'm about to introduce you to your child.
I like that.
Because we know secrets. We know things that we see parts of them that the parents don't see.
Right.
And it's been a constant thing. We'll go to break when we come back. The next segment, I was told to ask you about serve.
Okay.
And the variances and the evaluation of talent. If you're looking at a player, how important is the serve? And are they stuck with it? It's like a pitching, it's like a pitcher's arm. If he throws 80, he's going to throw 80. Or can you change it?
Sure.
Through effectiveness and velocity. But we'll ask Coach about the service game. At 6'7", I'm pretty sure he had some. We'll ask about it when we come back to One-on-One.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
In today's digital world, technology works great until it doesn't. At Hamilton, we work to keep your business up and running. We are more than an IT company. We're your partner, focused on customized solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Say goodbye to tech stress and unexpected IT costs when you hire Hamilton. Together, we help you focus on what really matters. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hi, folks. The weather is for sure heating up, and Coppel Chevrolet GMC is following suit. The discounts are really as good as they've ever been. $14,500 off list price, or 0% financing on select new models. Folks, you heard that right. Smoking hot deals at Coppel. $14,500 off list price, or 0% APR. So take that short drive down 144th Street or at koppelcars.com. STK number G269520. All deals with trade-in and approved credit.
Get the baler you need without breaking the bank at Landmark Implement. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% fixed for 36 months or stretch it out with a 2.9% fixed rate for 60 months on used John Deere 560M and R Series round balers. Reliable, field ready, and priced to move. Don't miss your chance to lock in serious savings before the next cutting rolls around. Visit your local Landmark Implement or head to landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Out here on Nebraska's calm, welcoming waters, fishing is a breeze. It's the sweet spot where solo anglers find quiet before the catch, families reel in memories, and first-timers discover what makes fishing so special. From the Panhandle to the Platte, the best fishing happens here beneath Nebraska skies. Get started at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Back to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back one-on-one, Peter Kobelt, Husker tennis. Going through the discussion is going to be remarkably helpful, and it doesn't matter what your child's sport is. That he's giving you a playbook and some notes, just things to consider
for sure.
Because again, he's recruiting all over the world, and I know that tennis, because of the international makeup of a lot of the talent, and that maybe some of the facilities around the world or countries are set up, international play is set up to identify tennis talent differently outside of America. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, every country does it different. For sure. You go, it's amazing. You know, they share a border. Like you go from the way they coach in France to how they coach in Spain. It's two totally different systems, and both are very successful. But you can see a French tennis player from a Spanish tennis player from a mile away. So it's honestly remarkable.
What does that look like? How do you the talent eye that you have? What does that look like?
The Spanish are very physical. They play more heavy topspin, and they're behind the baseline. They're swinging as hard as they can, and they're very disciplined with their shot selection, and they're very hard to beat. In the French, they have lots of skill, very good hand-eye coordination, can play all the shots, the drop shots, the serves, and they're a little less physical and disciplined with their mindset, but they can do everything on the court. So, but it just, you know, each player is a little bit different, but just how they coach the game, the French coach it very well, and so did the Spanish. But yeah, I mean, every country's kind of the same. Germany has its things. The United States has its things. So
what is the American thing now?
The Americans like numbers, statistics. You know, and
you just made my head hurt.
No sport is safe from the analytics in the U.S.
It's insane.
Like
there's
Harrison
no
and
feel.
I we punch ghosts all the time in here. Just analytics has entered the chat. Oh, geez, that's going to change everything.
Percentages and rotations of the ball. It's like, guys, you got to have, you make quick second decisions. You're not calculating decimal points before you hit each ball. It's a game of feeling. It's a game of feeling, and you can use the stats to you know, maybe isolate a few things in your game that you might need to work on. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not so much with the stats thing. For me, the most important stat in tennis is who wins the most second serve points, because that's usually who's the better tennis player from the baseline, who's winning the point once the point starts.
Can that get lost in the priority and focus on power service? That big servers can get away sometimes with having other deficiencies.
That was me.
Right?
Yeah, that was me 100%. Yeah. I mean, I made it to 300 in world without a backhand, basically. So I wasn't able to get much higher than that, but I was able to get to there with just a serve and a forehand and being a relatively good athlete for 6'7". So, but yeah, I mean, I think in today's game, you have to be very well-rounded. And I think it's like that with every sport. You know, everyone's, you know, before the internet, now you can get online and you can watch and get coached online a little bit more. There's all the YouTube coaches.
Danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
You got to stay away from the YouTube coaches and things like that. But very rarely now do you see like players in the top 100 or the top 10 or the top 50 with big holes in their game. Like, you know, Sampras was number 1 in the world, but his backhand wouldn't live up. He wouldn't be able to do what he does in today's game with that backhand. And Jim Courier also, same weird technique on both sides, like very elite competitor, like as tough as they come. But you can't have those deficiencies in the game today. So it's just the game's evolving, just like every sport, you know. And I think you got to be more well-rounded more now than ever.
Then let's stay there, because I that always fascinates me, is to take legendary play and see how it correlates to today. So I'll ask you that Yannick Noah.
Amazing, yeah.
Right? Would his game fit in today's game?
So I think my belief with tennis is that those guys played that way in that era because that was the right way to play to win in that era. So I think if they were playing in this era, like Jim Courier would have figured out how to win in the era, in this year's, or this, you know, in the era that we're in now. Right. That's what I think. I don't know if that's true, but you know, if back in the day, most of the time you were serving and volleying, and that was what you needed to do to win.
Like Boris Becker changed the way people were playing tennis. His serve was so big, and he was so violently athletic and explosive that everybody else had to evolve around him. How would he do in today's game?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to know. They also use different equipment and rackets back then too. And tennis is one of those sports where the equipment in the like makes a huge difference. Like the equipment that the guys use now compared to then is like an old school golf club compared to what they're using now. It's that big of a difference. So
Yeah, and tennis shoes.
And tennis shoes.
By the way, thank you. Thank you once again for the tennis shoes.
Yeah, of course.
He brought actual tennis shoes. Harrison. I feel like the cool kid tomorrow. It's cool.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem I realized is I need to be, what are you, size 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have some extra 14s laying around.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So it's always that you mentioned Andre Agassi, and I thought that his game would transcend because of how athletic he was. Where would he fall in today's game?
That's a good question. I feel like he kind of wasn't, I don't know if he was as impactful as Steph Curry was to basketball, but he kind of got out of the mold where you had to be a serve and volleyer, Sampras, and then you had some of the guys before him, the Pat Rafters, the Tim Henmans, those guys were all coming forward to the net, and Agassi was back there behind the baseline, swinging at the ball, ripping it from the baseline. So he kind of, I think he's the player that kind of switched the game back to where it is now, where it's more of a baseline game as opposed to coming to the net. And I think obviously the strings and the equipment, you can hit the ball even harder with more spin now, and when the ball's dipping and diving like that, it's hard to hit volleys. So, but I think Agassi was the guy that kind of got everyone back on the baseline and said, okay, let's, the game's played and won from back here. It's not played and won so much at the net anymore.
It's always fascinating with players, high-level players who become coaches, because the brain has to reprogram itself.
Yeah.
For your ability to teach people how to do what they're not inherently good at.
Sure.
And there is a button that each player has. None of it's the same.
100%.
None of it reacts to the same thing, where you have to get 10 different athletes to play in a way with the same mindset and different skills.
Yep.
Where do you meet these people? How are you identifying that this young man from Italy, this one from Germany, this one from Spain, could come to Lincoln, Nebraska and be a Husker? I'd fall into all the things around it and then listen to you enough and communicate with you clearly to play Husker tennis, whatever version that is.
That's the job right there. If anyone was wondering, that's the job. But no, I've been doing it. I haven't been doing this for a super long time, but there's some countries that were very hesitant to recruit just on their mindset and how they're raised and grown up, and like the way that we coach, it takes a certain type of player and with a certain type of background to handle like all the things that come with being a Nebraska men's tennis player here. But I would say, like it's just tough. So there's a handful of countries like we won't take them just because we know it's not gonna fit with us. Just, and when you talk to them and you hear them on the phone, how they answer questions, and you're just like, yeah, this isn't gonna be the right person. So
different expectations, also different culture.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like in today's world, there's a lot of different things pulling you to be a college student athlete, a collegiate student athlete. Even in tennis, money is becoming a huge deal, and while the goal is still to win and to win as a team, so trying to find people that want to be a part of the tennis program for the right reasons is a big deal for us. And we understand there's a money component to tennis and to all this, and that's something that we're trying to actively work towards and do. But at the same time, like, this is a team, and we're trying to do really amazing things here, and they got to buy into the big picture of things here too. So,
well, Steve Sarkisian made the news, right? He was in football in Texas. He said, we want people to want to come here to play football for Texas, not for the money. Now, mind you, saying that while offering somebody $1.5 million the day before.
I think I saw like a video of a bunch of Lambos or something.
Yeah, like it's interesting to say.
Sure.
But the reality is Lincoln, Nebraska is different. Austin's still kind of a Renaissance city. It's a Renaissance town. It has lots of cultural things that people can buy into. Lincoln, Nebraska is not that. And it's a little different to try to identify who's going to come here, handle the cultural differences, handle being away from home, which is a big part of it. How often do your student athletes get to go home? Because home This is the first time they've been in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah.
If you're coming from Italy to Lincoln, there is some culture shock and some homesickness.
Yeah.
How do you deal with
that? The Amalfi Coast, we don't go recruit there. That's for sure. It's a little bit too different for Lincoln, Nebraska, and that coastline in Italy. But when we look, we recruit the northern countries in Europe, obviously the Scandinavian countries where it's cold and it snows, and so it's there's not this big cultural or this the geographic or the weather, the climate, where it's similar at least.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to get players from super warm countries to want to come here just because it does get cold and we play indoor tennis here. So that's one thing. But yeah, I mean, they got to understand, like, when they come and play college tennis, it's not all about them, and sometimes that's not easy to do. Some programs will make it all about them, and that's fine, but that's not the way we're going to try and do it here for the time being. I think maybe that might change a little bit in the future potentially, but for now, we got to do some of the basic things really well, and we got to find the right guys that want to come in and do the right things. So we're very clear and upfront in the process, and we tell the recruits right away, like, if you're looking for this, like, that's not us here. Like, let's just cut our ties now, so we're not wasting anyone's time.
Yeah,
so I don't know if that's the right way to recruit or the wrong way to recruit, but that's just the way we're doing it.
It makes sense because everybody comes with luggage, especially from other countries, because different coaches, different systems being identified on national levels, and the level play and competition, all those things. So it's always interesting. We will go to break. We'll come back. I do want to ask him about service and the importance of it. And at 6'7" and being someone with serve, that he has an advantage because he knows how return of servers work, how they think. And it also helps you coach the other side of the net. So we'll talk with Coach about, service and how to get better at it. Also, I do want to ask him before he goes, who's the best he ever played against? Yeah, who's the best player he ever played against? We'll get those answers when we come back to one-on-one.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: showers and storms possible throughout the day. Otherwise, we'll see mainly cloudy skies with a high around 85. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms, rolling that low around 60. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers. Otherwise, mainly cloudy and cool with a high near 78. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Play ball! Pitch the perfect idea for a family outing or date night with tickets to the next Salt Dogs game. Nothing says summer fun like an action-packed evening at Haymarket Park. Come root for the home team with a hot dog and a cold drink. Plus, visit saltdogs.com to learn about special events and promotions, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the thrill and excitement of a Salt Dogs win. Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today.
Get the baler you need without breaking the bank at Landmark Implement. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% fixed for 36 months or stretch it out with a 2.9% fixed rate for 60 months on used John Deere 560M and R Series round balers. Reliable, field ready, and priced to move. Don't miss your chance to lock in serious savings before the next cutting rolls around. Visit your local Landmark Implement or head to landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, folks. The weather is for sure heating up, and Koppel Chevrolet GMC is following suit. The discounts are really as good as they've ever been. $14,500 off list price, or 0% financing on select new models. Folks, you heard that right. Smoking hot deals at Koppel. $14,500 off list price, or 0% APR. So take that short drive down 144th Street or at koppelcars.com. STK number G269520. All deals with trade-in and approved credit.
Summertime is here, and you know what that means. Grilling season. You know what's more embarrassing than an overcooked piece of meat? Your dirty, disgusting, and grimy grill. Let the pros at Husker Grill Cleaning get you ready for grilling season. They'll take your grill apart piece by piece, scrub every inch, and reassemble it so it can look and perform its best. Visit their website, huskergrillcleaning.com today to schedule your appointment. Husker Grill Cleaning, serving Lincoln, Omaha, Malcolm, and more.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's always a great hour with Peter Kobelt, Husker tennis head coach. And, yeah, we're working this for as long as you can do this. This is your time slot. This is
Just do it.
like we're quickly evolving into the Peter Kobelt show.
I don't know about that.
No. Look, I got a plan for this. And the funny thing was, I get an email from Herman today. He's like, "Hey, you have time for you, boy?" I'm like, "Come on!" Like I've been telling you to come on in, man.
Exactly.
I'd like to do this. I said, "Listen, Peter does Wednesdays. You can do Tuesday or Thursday. Let me know. I'd love having you guys on.
100%.
It makes it easier. Push the program and get here before the other coaches get here because they're coming.
Right. Well, they're coming. That's for sure.
So in this space, we always say that whatever your talent is, it's easier to coach that. And then whatever the reciprocal thing for that talent is. So if I'm a fastball hitter, I tend to know how fastball pitchers think.
Sure.
You, with service as a high-level skill for you, you play the game on how people are going to receive you and how you're going to use your skill. How do you coach that for somebody that comes in and says, you know what? I need to be better at serve receipt. What's the mentality behind that? Because overthinking on receipt is the easiest way to be bad at it.
Sure.
How do you coach that, and how important is it?
Well, serve and return are arguably the two most important shots in tennis because you that's how you start the point.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be a great player, you got to be able to start the point as more times than your opponent. So for me, the return is the most important shot. The forehand is the second most important shot, and then the serve is the third most important shot. And I think that's evolved from over the years. I think the serve might have been number one or number two, but I think the return is probably the most important now aspect of the game now. just because the courts are slower and you got to be able to start the point extremely well these days. So the serve's also not quite as impactful because the conditions are slower. So you're not getting as many free points as you once did 10 or 20 years ago.
Slow court, more movement.
Slow court,
slice on the serve.
Less. The ball goes through the court less.
Okay.
So you get it sits up a little bit more. There's more spin, but you're not getting like the quick 3-point from the serve anymore,
or a clean look at.
Not as much. Right.
The
Yes.
late movement on service kind of creates a problem.
Sure. So I would say the serve and the return are still extremely important, but I think in today's game you can get away a little bit more with having a weaker serve as opposed to a weaker return, I think. But the game's constantly evolving, and the court surfaces change, and tennis is a sport where you play on 3 different surfaces, 4 if you want to count indoor hard, but you have hard court, grass court, clay court, and everyone's skill set kind of matches up differently for each surface. But yeah, I mean, the serve was my thing. That was what I did well, and that was my identity. And I knew it, and my opponents knew it. And you when you scout and you're playing other opponents, you kind of try and do your best to figure out what you need to do against the guy before the match. But it's tough because your game is going to be different than the guy that just played him. How many guys are 6'7" that have a big serve that play like me? Like, not many. So, my playbook was a little more simple, I think, because my game was more straightforward. It's like, hey, I got to take care of my service game, and I got to dig into some of these return games. So that, for me, that was how I played. It was pretty simple. It kind of was more on me and less on some of the other things. But as a coach now, with the players that we're recruiting, I found that you have to do a very good job of figuring out how they are going to be successful holding serve and how they are going to be successful returning serve. I coach, I say, hey, this is what I used to do when I played. I don't know what's comfortable for you, but this is what I did and what I would recommend you try first. And if it doesn't work, then we can at least cross that off and then move on to something else. But
is toughness recruitable?
Toughness,
can you see it? Can you
100%? Oh yeah, that's something that we look for sure. They're number 1 and number 2 on the recruiting board. The two most important things are, number 1 is you have to be extremely competitive. Number 2, you have to have relentless energy. So
when friction happens, have a plan.
Yeah. So it's hard to beat a guy that's refusing to lose. It's just, especially in tennis, when you have to win the last point, there's not a clock that's going to just run out. You got to actually go and win that last point. Like, if I don't want to lose that last point, I'm going to be hard to beat the entire match. So that's huge in tennis. Huge.
Coach, who's the best you ever played against?
Best player I ever played against. Wow. I've played against a lot of really good players. I don't have like a Roger Federer or a Djokovic or a Nadal.
Yeah.
Karen Kachanov, I played against him in a tournament in Israel. He quarterfinaled Wimbledon, and he's quarterfinaled Wimbledon and Roland Garros twice now. I lost to him. I knew he was going to be really good when I played him, though. But I've played probably 10 or 20 guys that have been top 100 in the world, and I probably won half of them. So I wasn't as good as them, but my level was able to go up to their level when I was playing my best. But my bottom level was a little too low to be consistent enough to like make the jump into the top 100 where they are. So
see, Harrison, get yourself a backhand, coach.
Yeah.
Get yourself a backhand, coach.
Two-handed backhands. The one-handed backhand days are done.
Coach, thank you once again, man.
TP.
Good stuff always.
You're the man.
Appreciate you giving it up and sharing intelligence and knowledge about this stuff. Making the tennis community better, one show at a time. Harrison, what do you got next, brother?
We got an hour solo here, and then, as always, best of the ticket. And I believe today we got the captain for another hour for you guys, 2 hours.
There we go. Good stuff. I'll do it again tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. Harrison will take you through ticket weeknights, and be kind to each other because